You either give me 8 hours, that's what I enjoy. I like talking for 8 hours in a day because that's the best way. My warm up time is 2 hours, actually. The good news is you can acquire salesmanship at any age. The good news is you can learn at any time to sell. I am in the fourth standard and I hope to reach the fifth standard of selling soon enough. We are in a lockdown stage, or we're in a semi lockdown stage, or we're in a partial lockdown stage. We're not knocked down. And we are definitely bogged down with the thought as to what is going to happen. But at the end of it, what is it that we want to do? We want to come out of it celebrating, all of us together, and look at doing business maybe in a different way. It's nothing very different. The world has been changing every day. The world has been changing over the last 100 years. The world has been changing over the last 200 years. But yes, everyone seems to be very conscious of the fact that things are changing and we must adapt to change. But even before we go into the presentation, let me take you to a typical sales call. The average salesperson walks into a customer's place, wishes him, opens his bag, takes out his wares like an Arab merchant, and goes on and on and on and on about himself, his company, his product, his pricing, the processes, everything. And he literally pukes. Now, when somebody pukes on the customer's table, it surely becomes messy, doesn't it? And when it becomes messy, the customer moves his chair back a little bit. The salesperson also moves his chair back. And in a sales call, it is not about social distancing. In a sales call, it is about coming close. So, what should we do? And what is the meaning of this word puke? People who utter knowledge about everything. And the customer puts his hand on his head, clasps his head, and says, God, I don't care how much you know. All I want to know is how much do you care? And here we are talking about our wares without a care in the world. So it's all about pitching. And when we are talking about pitching, the question is to whom do we pitch? Why do we pitch? How do we pitch? And what exactly do we pitch? If at all we understand the meaning of the word pitch. And suddenly my system tells me that Ranga, it is time to share a story. Every now and then, every few minutes, my system will tell me we are at a storytellers tribe. We are talking to a lot of future storytellers. And I know I was reading the questions sent by some of you. Many of you wanted to know how do I become a storyteller? And so here you are, the first story. See, I am in this business of traveling. I am in this business of sharing stories. In fact, my wife thinks that I go with a duffly. You know what is a duffly? It's an instrument that somebody beats and sings. The original duffly wala passed away a few weeks back, Rishi Kapoor in the film Sargam. But here is another duffly wala. And according to my wife, you go around city to city, town to town, singing songs about sales and telling people what sales is all about. So I was actually tying my shoelaces and having a cup of tea with my wife. The lawns of our house. Those days we were living in Ahmedabad. I shifted just 8 months back to this beautiful place near Pondicherry called Auroville. But at that point of time, 2 years back, I was in Ahmedabad. And I was preparing for this flight. I was preparing to go to the airport. But this cup of tea that my wife gave me, in which she puts a lot of loving, and loving is not the English loving, it is a Gujarati loving, what we call in Tamil longam. Or in Hindi, we call it long. So there's a lot of masala there, it's lovely stuff. I was having the tea and she said, where are you going today? Because she tends to forget. I'm off to some place or the other every second or third day. And I said, I'm off to Raipur. What is there? I said, there is an IIM. So what are you going to do in an IIM? I said, I believe that there is something called a TEDx talk. I've been invited to it. So, oh, wow. What are you going to talk about? I said, what can I talk about? I only know 4 things in life. Enfield bullets, cricket, Muhammad Rafi Sahab, the great legendary singer, and sales. And I'm going to put all of them together into a 4-minute story. Why 4 minutes? I believe TEDx gives you 18 minutes. I told her 18 minutes isn't good. It's neither here nor there. You either give me 8 hours, that's what I enjoy. I like talking for 8 hours in a day because that's the best way. My warm up time is 2 hours actually. But if it's 4 minutes, I'll probably create a record because nobody has ever delivered a TEDx talk in 4 minutes. She said, how will you do that? I was about to clear my throat and tell her when she said, but please remember one thing, let me warn you. And that's why I call this story The Wife's Warning. She said, don't share that story of the insurance salesman. I beat my head and I said, oh my God, but this was the story that I was going to share. He said, no, 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 don't do that. You've done it to death. Because the moment you stand up on the stage, they are within that red circle, which you're not going to get out of. And the lights are on you, the cameras are on you. And you begin by saying, there was an insurance salesman. The audience is going to complete the story for you. Don't do it. I was trying to reason with her that the insurance salesman story is the most powerful story in the world. It is the most inspirational story, and anybody who listens to this story and understands it can sell anything to anybody at any price at any time of the day or night in any quantity. Believe me, I know it. But here is my wife telling me, you will not share that story. And ladies and gentlemen, I've got to come back. I've got to live peacefully. I have to have my food and whatever number of years left in my life. I need to lead that without any hitch. So I decided not to share the story. I flew to Mumbai, changed my aircraft, Mumbai to Raipur, landed up in Raipur. The students from IIM had come to pick us up. There were a couple of fellow speakers with me at the airport. We drove down together to the hotel because the program was the next day. And there was this young actor from Hindi films who said, sir, I'm also one of the speakers and I'm your junior at Delhi University by 32 years. I said, wonderful, very nice to meet you. You're a film actor, so you would have a problem. You can think of anything. He said, why? What's your problem? I said, I'm worried. I was prepared for a 4 minute talk, and my wife has told me not to deliver the talk, and I have no preparations whatsoever. He says, sir, you look like a very experienced guy. I'm sure you can pull a story out of your hat. I said, let's see. He said, don't worry, we'll have dinner together, or we'll have breakfast together in any case, and maybe I'll tell you what you could talk about. But why don't you tell the story? I told him my wife will come to know. He says, how will she come to know? I said, how long have you been married? He said, 4 years. I said, I've been married 36 years. She'll know. In 36 years, you can't hide anything from your wife. So, guys who've been married 4 or 5 years, you probably can get away with it. I couldn't have. And then I told him, and on top of that, my son was telling me, Dad, there's going to be live streaming on Facebook, and I'm already setting up the Mac so that mom can see you for the first time in her life, and mom can listen to you for the first time in her life. Now, this is what happens to a guy who's been married 36 years. Anyway, how the evening went, I don't know. How the morning went, I don't know, because there were so many people crowding around us. And by the time I realized it, we were already at the venue. And they dropped a bombshell on me by telling me, sir, you go number two. You're not seven. You are the second speaker. By then, the first speaker was already on the stage. And I had no time now to prepare. So I go there as soon as my name is announced. I go and stand in that red circle. And here the butterflies are no longer flying in formation. I clear my throat and say, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to my talk. There was an insurance salesman. And that's it. And suddenly, on an imaginary screen in front of me, the face of my wife loomed large. And I stopped. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, the story is inspirational, it's highly motivational. You can learn to sell anything under the sun, including the sun, if you know this story. But I am extremely sorry. I have been told not to share this story. I made a promise to my wife, and I shall not share this story. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a couple of minutes, just imagine for a couple of minutes, I am stopping this share for just a minute to understand your reactions and to see what you're doing, because on the screen, my wife's face, and here the audience. Imagine for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, that you are at I Am Raipur, you are part of the audience. What are you likely to be thinking? What are you likely to be telling me? What is complete blackout? Oh, Shervin, are you able to see me?
Yes, we are able to see you, sir.
All right, no, because somebody wrote complete blackout. So I was wondering whether he was seeing a complete blackout on the screen or he thought that at I Am Raipur there was a complete blackout. Okay,
No, sir,
guys,
your presentation has gone. That's why they are commenting. Yeah.
yeah, guys, would you like to guess what the audience said? The audience said something together. Any thoughts? Okay, I think probably the audience is wondering what happened next. We want to hear the story. Please tell the story. Ashok Kumar, Sindhu Priya, they want to hear the story. No, they didn't exactly say that. They said something in particular. What's the story, sir? Asked Nihal. We want to hear the story, says Naveen. No, they said something in particular. And I know it's very difficult because you're not yet a mind reader like I am. I can teach you the art of mind reading also because of those 41 years listening to people. So let me go back and let me go back to this simple little thought of. So I'm very sure you guys want to know what the audience said exactly, right? I just have a simple suggestion. Go to YouTube, look for the channel Achal Rangaswamy, the coach. Don't go to the channel which says Achal Rangaswamy. Go to the channel which says Achal Rangaswamy, the coach. Subscribe. And the moment you subscribe, Achal Rangaswamy TEDx talk will appear. Click on that, and I think the insurance salesman story is there. Check it out. And do let me know later whether you could get to know the insurance salesman story, because the story talks about why we sell what we sell. Because if we don't understand why we sell what we sell, and if we don't understand who we sell to, and the kind of homework that we need to do instead of going and puking on the customer's table and then asking, I've told you everything about my product and my company. By the way, sir, what is your name? And of course, why should we know why we sell, what we sell to whom, and when and what? I'm sure you are sufficiently confused right now. So that was not the objective, because I'm going to take you to the KG and nursery of sales for a couple of minutes. Please bear with me. You all know it. And you're going to tell me, why are you taking us back to the basics? And my answer is going to be, because God lies in the basics. Most of us grow, we become great managers, we become senior managers, we become vice presidents, we become VPs, and we become senior VPs, and that's what we are, VP, because we do not understand the little difference between the fact that customers have needs, products, and at this very moment, I wanted to tell you about going to a liquor shop and asking for a bottle containing 750 milliliters of methylated spirit in a translucent purple colored bottle with a certain amount of effervescence in it. The liquid tastes like shikakai powder and smells even worse. Now, the guy at the liquor shop is going to tell me, Sir, I just don't have a clue. I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever you're saying looks like you had something to drink, but I'm going around in circles. Now, the guy obviously is not able to connect with your description because people never buy features. And I was talking about features of the product. What I was talking about, quite simply, was champagne. Now, look at champagne. When do people buy or consume champagne? Quite simply, the word in your mind that is going around in your mind right now is the word celebration. There's no other word. If you're flunked in the exam, country liquor will do, toddy will do, arak will do. But when it is celebration time, it has to be champagne. But look at the ordinary product that it is, though people charge 18 to 20,000 for it. 18 to 20,000. If it's anything less than that, then it was not the champagne wasn't bottled in a plant. It was bottled in somebody's backyard or worse, in somebody's washroom. Now look at the drink. Look at the bottle. You subject it to German torture by putting it into an ice bucket. You position the bottle in such a way the cork is released at an enemy of yours so that there is less competition, one less guy fighting for the drink. And then you spray 50% of the bottle on the audience. And then each one of you has a quick sip, not a big gulp. If it was Hayward's 5,000, I would even have shared it with you guys. But why is champagne drunk that way? Quite simply because next morning people would like to see you on Facebook with your thumbs up and with a bottle in your hand saying, I too celebrated. Now, if, ladies and gentlemen, people do not sell 750 milliliters of methylated spirit with a certain amount of effervescence or a translucent purple colored bottle, why the hell do we sell features? Why don't we go and talk about the ultimate benefit of a product? Why do we ever sell products? In fact, what did I do with the insurance salesman story? I never told you the story. When there is a need to sell a product, the lesson number one is don't offer the product until you have the customer literally begging and saying, please tell me. And I'm sure you'd like to know how to create that scenario. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Stop selling champagne. Stop selling 750 milliliters or whatever and start selling something that gels or syncs with celebration. You don't go and buy a piece of engineering excellence with four wheels, a wonderful suspension system, a very flexible steering, and an engine that takes you from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 6 seconds. Because if I were to talk about it, a lot of you would not even be able to connect. And you don't need to drive this vehicle upside down to get noticed. Even if you take it on the road, a lot of people are going to need iodex very soon, and 10 minutes later diagene, because you're going to make next turn and you're going to create what is called in Tamil vayate ritual or jalan petme because of jealousy, because what you just rode straightways up, not down, is this vehicle, a sports car, a Ferrari. You didn't catch it. I wanted you to catch it. So never sell a Ferrari. Don't even sell speed. Don't sell a suspension or a rim or some kind of spare parts or 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. Everybody knows it. Look at the guy who drives a Ferrari. He's never looking straight. He's looking to the left. He's looking to the right. Why? Because he wants to see how many guys are actually appreciating what he's doing. So here is a simple, ordinary, day to day product, and you don't go to a shop and ask, give me a dome shaped glass object with a tungsten filament of 100 watts. What you're saying is, give me light, or give me visibility, or give me the ability to study. More importantly, if I were in the sales guy's place, I would talk about an opportunity to win an award, a scholarship, or even top the university. Stick my neck out a little bit more, and if I can talk to them about Sir C.V. Raman or Ramanujam or Subramanya Bharati, who never had a bulb in their house and so went and studied under a street lamp, maybe in Marina Beach, my question would be, what would have happened if there was no street lamp? And the answer would be, India wouldn't have got the Nobel Prize. Guys, if you don't stick your neck out, if you don't sell benefits to the farthest distance possible, you are an also ran. You are a salesperson like any other salesperson, and for every product, there are 3,606, sorry, 7. By the time I finished the sentence, one more salesperson was born to sell bulbs. So, what are you selling? Are you selling a product? Are you selling a feature? Are you selling a benefit? Or are you taking the benefit to the longest distance that you possibly can, stopping one step short of sounding ridiculous? Don't sound ridiculous to the customer, but go that distance. Otherwise, you're going to be faced with huge competition. Obviously, when customer needs, you need to find them out. And every Johnny who teaches you how to sell Do you know something? People who can sell, sell. And those who can't sell become trainers and coaches. And each one of them is going to tell you, I'll teach you how to uncover needs. So, all those wise men who teach you how to sell are going to tell you, ask questions, probe the customer. The customer is dying to give you answers. And then they will tell you, ask open probes, ask close probes. Open probes is something like, why do you do this? And close probe is, do you do this? And so on and so forth. And they'll give you a lot of homework, asking you to write 100 examples of each. But my friends, let me tell you honestly, times have changed. The old systems of open probes and closed probes has gone obsolete. Probing is dead. Long live the probe. There is something else that you need to do. Probing is old hat. I just told this to the last bunch of salespeople that I was training, and this was precisely last evening, less than 24 hours back, that you are not going to survive by just probing and asking the customer questions. In fact, he could turn around and tell you, enough, enough. You already asked six open probes. Now ask me two close probes. It's old hat. And I'm very sure you would like to know from me, what should we do now? And the answer is, you will have to ask different kinds of probes. And what are those different kinds of probes you may want to ask me? Are you keen to know? Is there anybody who would like to ask me? Now, what should we ask now that open probes and closed probes are dead? Anybody? Let me peep into the chat box to see. Yes? Wonderful. Excellent. How many of you would like to know? What is the problem? Somebody says. Tapan Jatakia, Kem Cho Tapan Bhai, Shu Chale Che. He's saying, yes, sir. What are you looking to solve? Well, Harsh, okay, I'm glad. Well, all of you guys, I have a very, very simple answer for you. Starting Tuesday, 10 into 1 hour, 10 sessions of 1 hour. Starting Tuesday, coming Tuesday, 9 to 10 p.m., my sales masterclass opens up. And on the first 2 days, I'm going to teach you what is it that you need to ask. Join me. It doesn't cost much. At less than the cost of a couple of coffees at CCD, I will teach you. Ladies and gentlemen, what did I do? What did I do just now? Sell? Did I make you curious? Pitching? Ma'am, I don't understand jargon. You know, a lot of jargon nowadays. You have A to B, no, A to B is Ananda Baba. You have B to B, B to C, and a lot of these things that marketing pundits and gurus and jargon creators have created. I only know one thing: there's a customer, there's a product, and there's me. And I believe in selling H to H, human to human, or heart to heart. Curiosity is a nice word. Curiosity, curiosity, and a lot of other cities. I will take you around them. Yes, Sujit Bhai, heart to heart. And you sold curiosity. And if you want to learn curiosity, join me Tuesday evening, 9 to 10. Absolutely. Tamil Bharati proved the value with the demo. There are a lot of things, if you people are listening carefully to me, because I am going to share. Tuesdays are very auspicious days. And I want to take you back to another thought, even while we are talking about it at this point of time. And that is, guys, I want to go back to my, yeah, I am going back to the presentation because it is, so guys, a lot of interesting things that you can ask, but I want to share a few more stories with you. And the first of them is the story of the maternity hospital. I'm sure each one of you has gone to the maternity hospital, maybe to see a newborn baby, maybe your baby, maybe your elder sister's baby, maybe your elder brother's baby, or a relative's baby. On the door of the ward, on the bed, there is a tag which carries the name of the newborn baby, maybe, or the name of the parent. And so it says baby Kapoor or baby Vaidyanathan or baby Sham Sundar or whatever. Have you ever seen a tag with baby salesman written on it? a baby sales girl written on it? No, you wouldn't have. There is nothing like a born salesperson. Salesmanship is acquired, salesmanship is learned, salesmanship is imbibed, and salesmanship is actually learned over a period of time by observing, by listening, by watching, by reading, by practicing each and every technique. In fact, selling is a science. Whenever people tell me, is it an art? I tell them, not really. It's very logical. There is a step by step process. And it's extremely important for you to know the process. You can't jump from 1 to 3 and you can't go back from 3 to 2. So there is nothing called a maternity hospital's newborn salesperson. The good news is you can acquire salesmanship at any age. The good news is you can learn at any time to sell. I am in the fourth standard and I hope to reach the fifth standard of selling soon enough. The insurance salesperson story, I'm not going to share with you because I know you're going to go to Achal Rangaswamy, the coach channel on YouTube, and you're going to unravel that story along with a lot of other stories because in the TEDx talk, there is more than the story of the insurance salesperson, but the story that I want to share with you seriously is the car salesperson story. And for this, I need to watch your reactions. I've been helping out a car dealership in Ahmedabad. And I've been telling the guys out there that the sale takes place only during the test drive, not before it, not after it. Because that's when you are showing, you're making the guy feel, you're making him visualize, you're making him go through the experience, through the emotions. And this is the stage where you can go for the kill. And I've taught these sales guys the questions to ask just before you get into the car or just after you finish the drive. There is this guy who comes in his old car, this prospect, he parks his car. The youngsters tell him, sir, we'll take care of your car. We'll have it parked. Don't worry, we'll put it in the shade because it's a hot day. It's pretty hot in Ahmedabad at this time of the day, this time of the year. So come, the car is ready for you. And so they get into the car for a test drive. They go, the sales guy tries everything. He asks questions. He asks leading questions to try and close, but some things are not happening. Something is not gelling. And there you have a kind of a dead end. They come back, they get out of the car, they come and sit in the lounge. The sales guy says, so thank you very much for taking a test drive. Looks like you're not in the mood today. I do hope you'll come back with your family. The company has something for you. Kindly wait. He goes into the storeroom, opens the refrigerator, takes out an ice cream party pack, and brings that ice cream party pack and hands it over to the prospect and says, so, with our best wishes for you and your family, which is waiting for you at home. Now, I bang my head and I say, what the hell is this sales guy doing? Why couldn't he have given the prospect a lovely coffee table book of the company? Why couldn't he have given him a beautiful keychain with the car's shape? Why couldn't he have given him a lovely t-shirt with the company's logo or a lovely picture of the car and his own? Oh, it takes only 2 minutes. A digital version doesn't take very long. I have a photograph of Enfield's picture of mine riding my RSB 3779 over those 2.5 lakh kilometers. They gave me a coffee table book. They gave me a t-shirt. They gave me so many gifts. Why couldn't he have given this? What is this stupid ice cream all about? Tell me, guys, why did this youngster give an ice cream party pack to this prospect? Why did he give something as simple as this? Why an ice cream? Wonderful, Pritosh, because it melts faster. And the ice cream is going to melt. Our man is going to drive back home in a hurry. And when he drives back home in a hurry, he's going to say bye bye unconsciously to those 5 other car dealerships. No, 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 it's not a question of no AC or discuss with his family. He wants to go home because the ice cream is going to melt. And on the way, those 5 other showrooms, he doesn't even look at them. Ek ice cream or 5 competitors ka patta saaf. One ice cream knocking out positioning 5 competitors. Because whenever a guy comes to a car showroom, he has an idea. The way you come to buy property, I train people who sell real estate. And I tell them, what ice cream are you providing your guy that he comes to your project and then sidesteps those five other projects and goes home and tells his wife, I have seen the place where we can live happily ever after. And we also get a wonderful return on our investments. Guys, you have competition all around you. And the biggest problem is whether it is Chennai or Chandigarh or Chikmagalur or Cochin or Rajkot, all car dealerships are in those 7 or 8 kilometer stretch. Yes or no? You need to outposition competition without running them down, without speaking ill of them. Very simple. What does Achal Rangaswamy do by way of stories that you don't want to listen to anybody else? Think about it. When you're having lunch after this particular discussion of ours, think about it. Have I given you food for thought apart from giving you thought for food? Think about it. Another story. And this is a favorite story of mine because after this, I think I will need to begin my winding up process. I have less time. Maybe we can meet up some other time. Maybe we will have another session. Maybe I'll tell you the Sonia yet so far close, or the leave him alone close, or just that little bit more close, or the ISRO tender close, or that little boy with the ice cream close, or the rain will fall on the car close, or why don't you move a little faster close? I have more closes than all sales trainers can often because the only thing I've done in life is to close deals. The only thing I can't close is a sales talk to you guys. And I'm sure you don't mind it either. Now, we got married 36 years back. Are you able to hear me? Please keep telling me because I get an
Yes,
occasion.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
great, excellent. We got married 36 years back. My wife belongs to Gujarat. She's a Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi dancer, though she's a Gujarati. So her heart lies in southern India, and that's what brought us here. It was her heart that brought us close to Chennai, to Pondicherry. હા ગુજરાતી છે સમીર ભાઈ પણ મને પણ ગુજરાતી બોલતા આવડે છે કઈ વાંધો નહીં. Now listen to what happened. 34 years back she suggested, why don't we go to Chennai or Madras? Your parents came for the wedding, of course, but a lot of relatives didn't come. Why don't we go and meet them? And so we went to Chennai and I took her shopping to my favorite places. Tiruvika Punga, 14 rupees 70 in my pocket so that we could buy peanuts. See, when we were dating, there was no barista, there was no Costa coffee. There was only an Udupi Sanman in Ahmedabad, opposite All India Radio. And we used to share a vada sambar and share a coffee. No romance, no romance, no sharing because of romance. It's all I could afford at that time on my salesman's salary. But you know, what really happened was she dragged me into a jewelry store. And I said, oh my God. And ladies have this wonderful nose for the costliest counter in a jewelry store. She dragged me there and she took me to a place that said diamond necklaces. She looked at a necklace and I began to feel necklace. And she asked this sales guy, the guy is wearing his label there, Samir Singh Thakur written on it. See, most of the jewelry outlets in Chennai also belong to Marwadis and Gujubais. Khazana, Mehta, Bapalal. These are all guys from a different part of the country. She looked at a necklace and she said, what is the price of this necklace? The sales guy cleared his throat. He was wearing a tie, handsome guy. He could have been in films. The guy cleared his throat and said, ma'am, I think this necklace could be a little beyond your budget, ma'am. Now you guys must be wondering, the customer's ego must have been hurt, you would be thinking. No, no. A lady's ego is never hurt when she's prevented from buying a piece of jewelry. Instead, her determination goes strong. And she almost said something like, I think I heard her, Ye har, mujhe de de Thakur. Because that guy's surname was Thakur. Anyway, I said, look, I dragged her out. I said, what are you doing? You know how much money I have in my pocket? She said, that's not a problem. The necklace is beautiful. And I think I should be wearing it and nobody else. Ladies and gentlemen, we got back to Ahmedabad after 4 or 5 days of our holiday and came back. After that, whenever I would come back from office and look for some snacks, we all do this, no? We all raid the kitchen. We open the dabbas. I used to open dabbas to find some khakra, some thepla, some papdi, some lilo chevdo, whatever that lovely snacks, some muruk, some ribbon pakoda, or some onion pakoda and stuff like that. And I could only find currency notes. Some 500 rupees here, some 1000 rupees there, some 200 rupees here. And I was wondering, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years back, I came on the roads. நான் ரோட்ல வந்துட்டேன். எல்லாம் clean ஆயிடுது. என் வண்டி, என் புள்ள, என் வீடு. मेरा बेटा, मेरी गाड़ी, मेरा घर. We had to put everything on a mortgage because my wife bought that necklace. She bought the necklace. The transaction got completed. And she looks around triumphantly and says, "Where is that salesman? Kahan hai wo salesman?" And everybody is wondering who is she talking about because it's taken us some 32 years. And I tell her, I whisper into her ear, "Ma'am, प्यार का राग सुनो, दिल का भंवर करे पुकार. That salesman is not going to be here, ma'am. He must be running a gold souk in Dubai." Ladies and gentlemen, I have only one question to ask you at the end of this story. When did the sale actually take place? I want your answer in the chat box. When did the sale actually take place? Did it happen when I paid for it? Did it happen earlier? Wasim Kazi, Wasim Bhai, 32 years back. Wow. Visveswaran, when customer determines in his mind, Hardik Bhatt, when the ego is touched, ego is never touched, ma'am. I must tell you, there's something about ladies. Sindhu Priya, I can tell you a lot of interesting stories about how to sell to ladies. I did. By the way, friends, I never teach what I don't practice. In fact, one of the best closes was this. Listen to this. If you marry me, you have the world's best library. If you marry me, you're going to have the best music collection in the world. If you marry me, no bus tickets, no train tickets, just sit on my bullet and we'll go wherever you want to go. So, ma'am, 23rd April or 24th April? Now, this is what I asked. And she said 23rd because 24th is Sachin Tendulkar's birthday. And we got married on the 23rd of April on court. People marry in court. We married on court, on the badminton court, where we met. Jab we met. I never teach. I never give you examples of closing that I haven't tried. Bachelors, I run a special program called How to Get the Other Person to Say Yes. If interested, do let me know. Now, simple question. Did you enjoy this story? Oh, there is nothing like customer was challenged and all that. Your customer is not your competitor. Your customer is not your enemy. For God's sake, don't use words like challenged and stuff like that. Your customer is your collaborator. You are both working towards a common cause. And like I tell all my customers, all my sales guys, you're working towards the realization of somebody's dream. Maybe somebody had a dream. Let's get the highest claps for the day. Let's get the highest hearts for the day. I have only one thing. Can I get 5 people to be happy today? I roll out of bed every morning with just one simple thought. Can I make 5 salespeople feel proud of themselves? Simple. There's nothing else that I want to share with them. There is a very, very simple thought. Don't talk of challenges. Never fight with your customer. Never ever think of bamboozling him or making him feel lousy. You have only now all these stories are there. We can always share them. We can always discuss them. I'm always available. But I think I've come very close to the end of my presentation. But I have this little thought here. If you want to stay in touch with me and if you want to discover the joy of selling, connect with me at Achal Rangaswamy, the coach on YouTube. Connect with me at Achal Rangaswamy, the coach on Twitter. Connect with me at Achal Rangaswamy, the coach on Facebook. but I have a gift for all of you. And I want to share. Sherbin told you that I've got a personal gift for each one of you. And that gift is very simple. I'm going to share with you. Kindly bear with me for 2 minutes. I hope I'll get those 2 minutes, Sherbin, even though it looks like I'm exceeding my time limit. But I can't help sharing this with everyone. I hope you guys are able to hear me loud and clear.
Yes, sir. We are able to.
Wonderful. A
Uh,
doctor
uh,
prescription.
yeah, sir. Go ahead.
Sherwin, you've seen this? Can you
Yes,
see
sir.
it?
I have
Oh,
read it.
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
You have read it. And I'm sure a lot of other people also may be having it with them. Thousands of guys, but I want to make it millions now with your help. A doctor writes out a prescription to his patient. Now, this is my prescription for people who sell. And it goes like this: I'm a salesman. I am proud to be a salesman because more than any other man, I and thousands of others like me built my country. A man who builds a better air conditioner or a mousetrap would starve to death if he waited for people to come looking for him. Regardless of how good or how needed the product or service might be, it has to be sold. Edison had to install his electric light free of charge in an office building. Samuel Morse had to plead before 10 sessions of parliament. People didn't go around demanding these products, they had to be sold. They needed thousands of salesmen, trailblazers, pioneers, people who could persuade with the same effectiveness as the inventor could invent. As a salesman, I have done more to make India what it is today than any other person. I've educated more people, created more jobs, taken away boredom from the laborer's work, given profits to businessmen. I've allowed prices to go down, quality to go up, and made it possible for you to enjoy the comforts and luxuries of thousands of products. I've healed the sick, given security to the aged, and put thousands of young men and women through college. I made it possible for inventors to invent, for factories to work, and for aircraft to fly. Whether in future you live in prefabricated houses, eat hotter, tastier, and faster cooked food, or travel by supersonic cars to the moon depends on me. But the buttered toast you had this morning for breakfast was lying in a baker's oven because I made sure that a farmer's wheat reached the mill, which made it into flour, and the flour was delivered to the baker. Without me, the wheels of industry would come to a grinding halt. And with that, jobs, marriages, politics, and freedom of thought would be a thing of the past. I am a salesman, and I am both proud and grateful that, as such, I serve my family, my fellow men, and my country. Guys, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel listening. I don't know how you felt listening to it. But every time I read it, I have this very strange feeling. I get goosebumps, my hair stands on its head, and I wonder, have I been sent on earth for a specific purpose and to make salespeople and people who sell? And we all sell, everybody sells. Your prime minister is selling, your opposition is selling, your lawyers are selling, doctors are selling. A chartered accountant sells. Each one of you sells. You sold the program to me. I sold my profile to you. You sold me your time. I sold you my thoughts. And we all sell. And until we sell, the world will move. You know what happened in the last couple of months when salespeople couldn't go out, weren't allowed to go out, or stop thinking. When fishermen can't go into the sea because of the storm, what is the next best thing they do? They repair their nets. I hope all of you have been repairing your nets so that you can go for that big catch. But coming to this, I feel very special. I don't know how you feel. Now, this is my gift to each one of you. How many of you would like to have a copy of this? I am a salesperson. How many of you would like to have it as as your wallpaper or as a screensaver or on your softboard or under the glass on your table or maybe on your cupboard or maybe on your washroom door or maybe on your kitchen door or maybe here inside here? I wasn't reading it, my friends. I wasn't reading it because every morning I say my favorite prayer, and after that I say this because this is my oath. Doctors have a Hippocrates oath. This is Achal Rangaswamy's oath. And I'm looking for young men and women to read this every day and go to the market with the thought that the day I don't go to work, the world stops. Or you can be arrogant. The day don't go to work, the world will bloody stop. The other is from a feeling of responsibility. The day I don't go to work, the world will stop. I don't know what's going to happen, but somewhere when products don't sell, packing material doesn't sell, the boxes don't sell, the paper doesn't sell, and the man who pushes the cart to take the roll of paper to the box manufacturer doesn't get his job to do today. Ladies and gentlemen, forget your incentives, forget your CTCs, forget your increments and the money that you get. Who pays that laborer's fee that day because he doesn't push the cart, his daily wage? And if he doesn't get his daily wage, who feeds that laborer's baby milk for the day? Do you realize that the day you sell, every laborer's baby gets the milk? You have been feeding them all these days. Promise me that you will continue to feed them, and not just milk in the future, but milk with a lot of sugar in it. That will be the sweetest way to do things for migrants and everybody else. Stop talking like politicians. Stop peeping into the newspapers. You want to do something, just go out and sell. Continue to sell, because in any case, when the guy pays you money, he's going to pay you money only when he's convinced that your product is going to make sense. Sorry, business sense. So, what's preventing you from asking for the deal? Everything is fine. If you can't sell, please prepare for hell. Even if your company is not doing well and you want to get rid of it, you got to learn to sell that company, no? On OLX. Even if you want to get rid of it, you'll have to learn to sell it off at the best price, no? So learn to sell. I'm here. Come to me. And the last question I want to ask you guys, the last question before I stop, and I want an answer. I want you to put it in the chat box. How much money does an average person or you spend on yourself per day for your physical health? Good food, good water, some exercise on a day. Per day, how much money do you think you spend daily for your physical health? How many rupees? You can put it in the chat box. The amount that you think you probably spend in a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, water, tea, coffee, a little exercise. How much money? What do you think you spend on a daily basis? Now, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm not asking you to contribute to charity. Let me hear your answers. Let me read them. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Somebody wrote 100. Okay. Anybody else? No? Is my voice coming through? I'm rechecking with Sherwin. You can hear me, no?
Yes, sir. You can follow the
Okay.
comment box.
Okay. People have started writing.
Yeah,
200, 250, 100 INR. All right. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Fair enough. Good. You can stop that. 200 approx. All right. Fine. Thank you. Now listen to my second question, the last. How much money do you think we spend on a daily basis for our mental, emotional, and spiritual balance? Daily? 100, 200, 10, 5, zilch. How much do we spend on our mental, emotional, and spiritual balance, ladies and gentlemen? Be honest. No, I already asked the next question. I'm seeking an answer. 500 for mental, emotional, and spiritual. Okay, somebody writes 10. Somebody writes 30 minutes. I asked for money. I didn't ask for time. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? People are saying we don't spend any. Sweta says none. Right. Okay. Guys, very simple question. Are you willing to spend 3 rupees per day? Are you willing to spend 3 rupees per day to get your mental, emotional, and spiritual balance for the day? Wonderful. Excellent. So, Shabin will help you. He will help me also. At the appropriate time, I will share with you nothing but my annual subscription, your annual subscription to Rangaisms. What is Rangaism? Rangaism is nothing but your daily morning motivational post that tells you how to lead a wonderful life. You can see Rangaisms on the screen.
Yes, we are.
Huh? All right. So, guys, there you are. How to reach me, where to reach me, when to reach me, anytime, just send me a message. If I'm in a program, I'll come back to you soon. If I'm free, I'll talk to you. And I just sold you your subscription to your daily morning Rangaisms. And it is as simple as that. Thanks very much. I enjoyed chatting with you all. I enjoyed my interaction. Time has come to its limit. Look forward to interacting with you some other time.